should have stayed home. Tonight was hardly worth this trouble now. I kept thinking that to myself, in silent frustration, as the windshield wipers swayed in rhythm, bouncing droplets of rain to each side and keeping the road ahead unobscured. This audible pattern only added to my impatience of wanting to just be home already. I'd heard stories before that these roads could be dangerous to navigate, but in a storm, it was somehow undersold to me. Now, as I drove in quiet contemplation, I mercifully merged onto the highway and glanced at my center console as my turning signal clicked back into place. Only 30 minutes left to go. I was told many different stories about this highway over the years. The roads themselves were one thing, but I found myself reluctantly replaying what Sam had told me just hours before. By now, the rainfall was heavier than it had ever been tonight, and just as I had switched the wipers to further keep it at bay, I noticed something up ahead on the road. Stood, perhaps 100 feet in front of me, was the pale shape of a man. Or was it a man? I truly did not get a good glimpse as my nerves got the better of me and I pressed my foot down to speed up and past it. As it disappeared from my mirrors, my foot eased on the pedal and I let out a sigh of relief. Was I seeing things? I didn't have time to process that question. As the back of my truck buckled, my heart sunk and my blood ran cold. And as I looked up into my rearview mirror, I gasped in horror. Have you ever heard of what lurks in the woods around Highway 101 in Oregon? Those familiar with the area's haunting reputation speak of a vengeful specter, a revenant that terrorizes all who travel along the coast. The Bandage Man of Cannon Beach. At the start of World War II, demand for lumber rose, and at the same time, Oregon's sawmills experienced labor shortages, resulting in a chaotic working space. It is during this time, in a torrential rainstorm, a logger met a grisly fate. An accident, resulting in deep lacerations from the mill's saw blade, ravaged his body. In a rush, he was sent to seek nearby medical attention, but partway through the journey, the vehicle crashed upon a bend in the road. By the time responders had gotten to the accident, they found the medics unconscious in the wreck, with the logger missing, leaving only a trace of a single strand of bloodied bandage. The legend of the Bandage Man was born. One night, on the desolate, winding roads of Highway 101, a young couple pulled off to the side and parked their car along a tree line, wanting a secluded place. Their conversation was light and playful, and just as their back and forth had begun to become more heartfelt, they heard a noise from the woods nearby. A sudden pause in the conversation, the kind of silence that overtakes a space and seems to linger in the air a second too long. It must have been an animal. The conversation resumes, slowly at first, but it doesn't take long for the tension to ease and the comforting presence of their shared company to abolish any worry. It was the last time they would ever feel safe on Highway 101 again. A sickening miasma suddenly permeated the air, and the back of their pickup truck buckled by the weight of an unknown force. They each turned and recoiled in terror at the broken frame that now stood dangling upright in the bed of their truck. It shambled backward a moment before limply slinking onto the pavement beside the truck with a stomach-churning splatter. In an instant, the figure erratically creaked upright, releasing a guttural moan. The couple panicked, immediately starting their truck and taking off into the night. Careening around a bend, The driver gave one last fearful glance at the emaciated shape that now lurched threateningly towards their speeding vehicle. A wind howled, and in the gale, a strand of bloody bandage uncoiled itself from the bed of the truck. Pale like the moon and glistening, it flickered away into the abyss of night. Whether you choose to believe in the legend or not, one thing cannot be denied. Highway 101 can feel oppressively foreboding and daunting at night. And if you ever find yourself traveling along those serpentine roads, and the stench of decay stains the air, you may find yourself in the presence of something darker.